Charles Bronson's life began far from glamour. Born on November 3, 1921, in the coal mining town of Ehrenfeld, Pennsylvania. He was one of 15 children in a family of Lithuanian descent, living in cramped conditions with limited resources. English was rarely spoken at home, and young Charles grew up immersed in Lithuanian and Russian culture. His father's death in 1933 forced him to leave school and work in the coal mines to support his family. Life was unforgiving, with long hours, dangerous conditions, and periods of hunger. Despite these challenges, Bronson developed resilience and determination. He was the first in his family to finish high school, proving early on that hardship could forge strength. These formative years created the foundation for the man who would later become Hollywood's emblem of toughness. A soldier in World War II. In 1943, Charles Bronson joined the United States Army Air Forces during World War II, flying as a top turret gunner on a Boeing B-29 Superfortress. He participated in 25 dangerous missions over Japan, enduring extreme stress and danger while earning a Purple Heart. His military service further hardened his resolve and taught him discipline under pressure. Fellow soldiers sometimes mistook him for a foreigner due to his accent, reflecting the multicultural environment of his upbringing. These experiences exposed him to the value of courage and perseverance in life-and-death situations. The challenges of war, combined with his difficult childhood, left lasting marks on Bronson's character. They shaped him into a man who understood struggle intimately, yet could channel that intensity into his later acting career, giving depth to the tough characters he portrayed. 3. From small jobs to big dreams. After the war, Bronson tried to settle into ordinary work, taking jobs as a bricklayer, short-order cook, and onion picker in New York. He later moved to Atlantic City, setting up a small business renting umbrellas and beach chairs, a modest endeavor that introduced him to local actors impressed by his painting skills. This led to his first experiences in acting, performing on stage while continuing to develop his artistic talents. He discovered a love for acting that rivaled his passion for painting, inspiring him to move to California in 1949 to study at the Pasadena Playhouse. By pursuing both art and performance, Bronson showed early signs of a multifaceted personality, one that combined creativity, toughness, and persistence, qualities that would define his extraordinary Hollywood journey. 4. The early Hollywood struggle. Charles Bronson initially found it difficult to fit into Hollywood's mold. His rugged features, distinctive voice, and unpolished demeanor made him stand out, but not always in ways that studios valued. Using the name Charles Binsky, he struggled to secure significant roles, often cast as tough men or laborers. It wasn't until 1954, after starring in Drumbeat with Alan Ladd, that he adopted the name Charles Bronson, partly to avoid the anti-communist suspicions of the era. Even then, recognition was slow, and many of his early films were low-budget productions. Bronson's perseverance and authenticity, however, caught the attention of European filmmakers, leading to international success. These experiences reflected his resilience and determination to pursue his craft, demonstrating that persistence and talent could overcome initial rejection in a competitive industry. 5. Breakthrough in international cinema. Bronson's work in the late 1950s and early 1960s began attracting attention overseas, particularly in France and Italy. His role in Adieu l'ami became a significant hit, solidifying his popularity across Europe. Audiences were drawn to his combination of physical presence and quiet intensity, which conveyed both toughness and vulnerability. European fans even nicknamed him Il Brutto, or the Ugly One, but his wife Jill Ireland saw the warmth and gentleness beneath his tough exterior. This international acclaim allowed Bronson to establish himself as a unique talent in cinema, showcasing that success sometimes comes from embracing individuality rather than conforming to conventional standards. His ability to resonate with audiences worldwide reflected his universal appeal as a compelling, authentic performer. 6. Memorable roles and personal challenges. Bronson's portrayal of the claustrophobic tunnel expert in The Great Escape mirrored some of his real-life struggles with tight spaces, stemming from his mining and military experiences. This role demonstrated his ability to channel personal history into compelling performances. While his on-screen characters often conveyed toughness and resilience, Bronson's off-screen life included quiet acts of generosity and care, showing a softer side unseen by the public. His marriage to Jill Ireland, who admired his combination of strength and sensitivity, highlighted this personal depth. Through both triumphs and challenges, Bronson's life reflected a balance between his public persona as a tough man and his private persona as a thoughtful, loyal individual, making him a multidimensional figure in Hollywood history. 7 vigilante roles and controversy. Bronson became internationally famous for his portrayal of Paul Kersey in the Death Wish series, beginning in 1974. The role of a man seeking justice resonated with audiences, though it stirred debate about violence in media. Bronson's commitment to the character and his intense presence made the films commercially successful. While the narrative centered on justice and moral complexity, Bronson himself was a private man who rarely sought publicity or attention outside his work. He preferred to let his performances speak for him rather than engage in interviews or public disputes. The popularity of Death Wish demonstrated Bronson's ability to connect with audiences through raw emotion and authenticity, a reflection of his enduring skill in portraying compelling, morally complex characters. 8. Personal life and acts of kindness. Despite his reputation as a tough figure, Bronson had a deeply caring side. He cultivated friendships and showed generosity in private moments, such as his interactions with a young Kurt Russell. On special occasions, Bronson celebrated personal milestones with thoughtful gifts, revealing a warmth often hidden behind his rugged exterior. He also continued to focus on painting and sculpting, maintaining his identity as an artist separate from his acting fame. These personal pursuits and quiet acts of kindness revealed a man who valued relationships, creativity, and integrity, contrasting with the public perception of a relentless tough guy. Bronson's life illustrates that strength and tenderness can coexist, creating a rich and human portrait of a legendary figure. 9 later years and lasting legacy. In his later years, Bronson faced health challenges, including heart disease and the effects of hip replacement surgery, which prompted retirement from acting. He endured personal loss with the passing of Jill Ireland, yet found companionship again with Kim Michelle Weeks, who stayed with him until his death. Bronson passed away on August 30, 2003, at age 81, leaving behind a legacy of unforgettable performances, artistic accomplishments, and a life defined by resilience. His children, including adopted daughter Katrina Holden Bronson, pursued creative paths, continuing the family's artistic tradition. Bronson's journey reminds us that even those seen as unbreakable carry personal stories of struggle, love, and perseverance, highlighting the humanity behind the legend. 10. The man behind the legend. Charles Bronson's story is one of contrasts: toughness and vulnerability, fame and privacy, discipline and creativity. He faced hardships from childhood through adulthood, yet channeled his experiences into art and film. Known for his intense screen presence, Bronson also valued personal connections, artistic expression, and quiet generosity. His life shows that legends are made not only by public triumphs, but also by personal growth and resilience in the face of adversity. Bronson's enduring appeal comes from this balance, inspiring audiences to appreciate both strength and empathy, toughness and sensitivity. Behind every iconic role and rugged visage was a man shaped by challenge, guided by principles, and deeply human in every sense.